And Ross with The Rock Never Stops. Uh, man, I had to do this video. I had to do this video. Um, a bunch of my members of my channel got Jamaican ancestry, just like I do. Um, coming from St. Elizabeth Parish, Black River, Jamaica. Man, when I saw this, when they told me about it, I was so lit. It almost derailed a whole video I was doing. Um, but they told me that Ausar Thompson and Amen Thompson were looking to lead Jamaica's men's national team for international competition. And as soon as I heard it, I was like, oh, what? Yo, that's crazy. And then they started dropping everyone else who had Jamaican ancestry in the NBA, including Norman Powell, who had already committed to the Jamaican men's national team. And I started thinking, I was like, I had to pause because I was like, yo, hey, I'm about to derail this whole video. I got to do its own live on its own. I'm gonna have to do it at a different time. And I guess today's the day. Today's the day. Because when I started really thinking about how transformative, how incredibly uh, almost revolutionary it is for an American born player to embrace their heritage and play for their ancestral family national team. And it's one of those things where I've been wondering for probably like the last 15 years, 20 years, why more NBA players didn't do it. Because the opportunity to make your name a global brand is rare, is rare. And when you see a lot of these international prospects, when you see a lot of these guys from Lithuania, from Serbia, from Slovenia, Russia, Germany, France, Italy, Spain, I mean, they rock their national team proud, proud, and it gives them a global brand. And considering that you have NBA Africa just getting kickstarted with J. Cole owning a team, and you have NBA Europe set to be launched soon enough, which is why they wanted to get Luca out of Dallas and into Los Angeles. Um, you begin to realize that the game isn't only becoming global, but the brand of the NBA is looking to stretch out and create new opportunities to expand what it's already been doing in the United States. In which case, if you have an ancestry, a heritage from another country that you have a close affinity to, like a real heart for, like it appears the Thompson twins both do. I guess their uncle ran for the Jamaican men's track and field team, and he competed internationally, and so it runs in their blood. It runs in their family, and it's a beautiful thing. And if you have an opportunity to do that in today's generation with social media, global branding, NIL, the ability to maximize your earning potential within a window of your athletic career, why would you not do it? And I'll say even more so. Another reason to do it is because Team USA is stacked as fuck. Like they are absolutely saturated with talent. I don't understand why, if you're a hooper, you would want to go to an amazing team where you're the 10th guy on the bench. Not because you're not good enough, just because other guys have seniority, other guys are, playing really well and they already know the system, they've already been in the pipeline, and now you're sitting behind guys waiting for your opportunity. Especially when international competition is only every 2 years. You have the global world games um, every 2 years, and then 2 years after that, you have the Olympics, and then the next 2 years, the global world games. And so it's every 2 years you have an opportunity to play for your national team. But generally, these teams get together just about every summer just to kind of, practice with one another, build that chemistry and camaraderie. But I tell you this, there is something absolutely special about seeing some of these guys competing with their national team, even when they don't win the gold, even when they don't win silver or bronze, when they get to levels that their country has never been in. Never. Never. And they've elevated that team to its highest heights to represent their country. I think it is absolutely special. When you saw Jose Alvarado, I believe from Puerto Rico or the Dominican, one of the two, and he's celebrating with his team, with his country, right? Elevating them to a level they didn't think that they could ever get to, right? It was absolutely bonkers. Like that level of fanfare and global embrace for his country representing them was just unparalleled. And the reality is, Team USA, they got 10 spots, maybe 12, but the last two are never going to see the court. If you have an opportunity to play for your national team, you should 100% be there. And considering all the Nigerians that are playing in the NBA, considering all the Cameroonians, Panamanians, Mexicans, Puerto Rican, like we got so many different nationalities in the NBA. I absolutely love seeing global competition with the best of the best represented, right? Like, I think it's a total waste. I'm gonna be honest. I would rather not see Giannis play for the Greek national team. I would have rather seen him play for Nigeria, right? Because getting Nigeria to medal to me would mean 10 times more, right? Seeing South Sudan ball out last year in the Olympics was freaking, yo, I was like, yo, this is crazy. And think about how those youngsters, right? Common Malawach at the center of it, uh, how he absolutely exploded after that run. You saw VJ Edgecombe representing the Bahamas with Eric Gordon and I'm not sure if Clay Thompson. Clay Thompson may have been on that squad, but I know his dad is from the Bahamas. Um, but to say that to see them represent and ball out, they have Buddy Hill, that's right, and DeAndre Ayton. They had squad, right? Seeing them compete and have a chance to medal, that was absolutely phenomenal. That was phenomenal, right? Thinking about the Thompson twins competing for with the Jamaican men's national team to me means everything. Not just because they're from the Bay Area where I'm from, East Bay, San Leandro, Oakland, Richmond, um, Alameda, just in this whole area, like representing the Bay, representing the East Bay, representing the culture, uh, and then making it to the NBA. I've been following them ever since. It's the reason why my Detroit Pistons channel. I mean, it's not 100% dedicated to the Pistons, but it's the reason why it's been saturated with Pistons for the past 2 years because of Asar Thompson. All right. And I'm probably going to pick up more on the Houston Rockets because of Amen Thompson. I got to have love for them. And finding out that they're also of Jamaican origin, I'm just like, oh shit, hell yeah. I got you. Say less. Say less. Say less. Oh, bro, 24K miles. Yo, what's good, my man? Yeah, I was just gonna get to the rest of the roster in a little bit. Considering everyone that they have available of Jamaican ancestry in the NBA who could potentially play for that team, I'm absolutely excited for their potential because they actually have a really good roster construction. Amen Thompson running point, Asar Thompson running on the wing, just like they did with the overtime elite. And then you have Norman Powell, your consummate veteran who's been around, had his best season last season, this past season for the Los Angeles Clippers, was a fringe all-star. I wish he had got in just because of his story. I think he deserved it. He balled out, had an amazing year. Seeing his whole career develop, his arc from the G League, coming out of UCLA, the developmental system in Toronto, finally getting playing time, then ending up in Los Angeles with the Clippers, um, and then waiting his turn, biding his time, and then exploding this past year. He could be an amazing addition next to the Thompson twins as your starting point guard, shooting guard, small forward. That's crazy. And I'm going to get to some of the particulars scheme wise and what you might see. But just those three alone give them an opportunity to compete against anybody. But then you add in the Champagny twins, Julian and Justin Champagny. I think one plays for the Wizards, the other one plays for the San Antonio Spurs. right? Those two, 6'5", 6'6", somewhere in there, wing players, shooters, dead eye shooters. You're gonna need those shooters in international competition. And so it's good to have the playmaker, shot creator that Norman Powell is. It's good to have elite level dominant athletes with size, positional size, in the Thompson twins. And then you also have front court. You've got your front court. You've got Isaiah Stewart, Big Stu from the Detroit Pistons. I would love to see Ausar and Big Stu representing Team Jamaica and Detroit basketball together. Yo, they got to have a Jamaican night um, uh, for the Detroit Pistons next season, just because of that connection, especially if both of them are playing for that national team. All that's to say is to see both of them represented, that would be an incredible starting lineup. If you got Amin Thompson at the one, Norman Powell at the two, Asar Thompson at the three or the four, Julian or Justin Champagny to be the shooter, and then you got Isaiah Stewart. But you still got guys like Josh Minot, plays for the Minnesota Timberwolves. You also have Nick Richards, who plays for the Phoenix Suns, right? So you're going to have size, you're going to have shooting, you're going to have athleticism. The only thing that they have left to really build is just chemistry. It's chemistry. And I totally forgot to mention Scotty Barnes. Apparently, Scotty Barnes, yo, I always liked him coming out of Florida State and then with the Toronto Raptors. Apparently, he's also got Jamaican ancestry. And even though you might say, well, wouldn't Scotty Barnes want to play for Team USA? I would say, yeah, I think he would too. I think that he's probably closer to making an active roster, though I think it's telling, I don't think that he's played for the select team yet. And the way that they generally build out that uh, competing roster each year is that it's basically based upon the select team, and then the select team members are in that pipeline and then get a chance to move up to the national team, the actual active roster, right? Amin Thompson played with the select team a couple summers ago, along with Cooper Flagg and Chet Holmgren and them and Jalen Duren. Uh, but I would rather see him with Team Jamaica. I just would. I just would. Because I can imagine, yo, Scotty Barnes with them boys and the Thompson twins, Champagny twins, Norman Powell, Isaiah Stewart, Nick Richards, Jeff Minot, like those cats all competing for the Jamaican national. Imagine the fanfare, right? Like that would be on some Usain Bolt type energy to see the men's national basketball team competing on the world stage. And you got these young boys, you got these young bucks, you got these young dogs out there who are like, yo, we trying to give everyone a run for their money. Not just that, but keep in mind how much you learn in the international game. How much you learn about playing winning basketball. It's a different brand of basketball, international play. It's something that if you're not used to, especially in the United States, it will throw you off. How much guys move without the ball, how much more patient teams are, how they really work their schemes and execute play after play after play, working towards their strengths, executing at a high level, the roster construction, the coaching, the X's and O's. I mean, it is absolutely tremendous. And it is a different game altogether, which is why a lot of times NBA players struggle, right? They struggle. They think that their athleticism translates in the same way. And it does if you can figure out the international style of play. If you can figure out how to keep track of guys constantly cutting, if you can deal with the hand checking that's allowed, if you can deal with the added physicality, right? The ability to tip the ball off the rim, things of that nature. You're not going to get away with as many things. And you're also going to have to figure out and process far more at a higher level. And when you consider the landscape of international competition right now, you still got Serbia um, dominating with Jokic and Bogdanovic and players like that, and Nikola Jovic, and they've got a whole bunch of guys in the NBA. You've got Slovenia with Doncic, and then you've got what's my other squad out there? I mean, you got Spain, you got a whole bunch of squads, but it's kind of an open field. You got Canada is balling out there. They got SGA guys like Shaden Sharp, Jamal Murray, Andrew Wiggins, RJ Barrett. Shout out RJ Barrett and Jamal Murray, who have Jamaican heritage, but they're from Canada. I kind of wish they had rocked with Jamaica, but back then I get it. Jamaica didn't really have a strong team like that to really pull them in. But I would love to see the Thompson twins like lead this charge, like, yo, we finna go play with our squad over here, with our people squad over here, and we gonna do something. Yeah, we may not have the same amount of resources poured into the national team, the national basketball team. We may not have the same type of fanfare and platform, but we can build it up. And I love that energy when guys are like, "Yeah, I'm not scared to go to the underdog." Like, if I'm honest with you, if I'm honest with you, how I used to hoop, because I love competition, and there's nothing better than being on an underdog squad, beating a team that has more talent. There's nothing better, bro. There's nothing. There's nothing better. Just straight up, nothing better. When you walk them down, you get them frustrated. They out there arguing with each other because they're like, how these dudes beating us, how they hanging with us, and you competing with dudes, and you just looking around. It's like, look, hey, let's just lock in for one game. Let's just lock in. Taking and hitting big shots, making the plays, guys giving their all. Like, there's nothing better than that type of competition. And I think that Jamaica would be an incredible underdog in international competition. To see them get to the world stage, to get to those medaling rounds, where they get out of their group, right? Because they're going to have to compete with the Bahamas for sure, right? And then potentially Puerto Rico. Um, I think the Dominican. It's funny. I ain't even gonna clown on towns like that, but I heard the Dominican national team dismissed him. It was like, look, bro, we're all right. We're okay. We're okay. He played with him one time. They was like, yeah, it's all right, bro. It's all right. It's good. It's good. All that's to say is, I think they're gonna have some competition coming out of their division in the Caribbean games there. But if they could come out, bro, that would be, bro, that would be so awesome, bro. That would be so awesome. I would be, I'd have to get a jersey. I'd have to get a Jamaican men's basketball team Thompson jersey. I don't know if I want to do Ausar or Amen Thompson, right? Probably Ausar because I've been rocking with him. They call him the good twin. They call Amen Thompson the evil twin. He's got a little mean streak, but I'm here for all of it. I'm here for all of it. If I'm honest with you, and I would just love to see more players represent their national heritage. Because why would you sit back and not play for your national team, an opportunity to play for them, embrace your cultural heritage, get to know it more? Because I mean, you're not just going to just show up and play. You're going for a training camp. You're going to get used to, just the culture of the game, right? You're doing some, travel around the island, around the country to really get in touch with those roots and really embrace the community and get them behind you, right? There's kind of a whole media PR dynamic to it. And then when you're playing, you get this energy behind you. Imagine if the men's national basketball team has the same type of energy behind them that the men's track and field team did. Like, imagine that type of energy. Imagine that type of energy. That would be crazy. It would be crazy. I would love to see it. I would love to see it, bro. You know, one of the things that I think I also need to mention is how special it would be to see the Thompson twins playing together on the same team again. You know, it's something I think most twins in the NBA, whether it was the Lopez twins, whether it was the Morris twins, who got a chance to play together with the Phoenix Suns for a quick moment before the previous team owner Robert Sarver betrayed. I think it was like Markeith or Marcus. I think they betrayed Markeith Morris, where he took less money so that they could re-sign his brother, and then they didn't re-sign him. And he was hot. He was so mad. He was like, "Hell no, y'all gonna betray me?" And he was mad. All this to say is the opportunity to play together is rare. The Champagny twins, who knows if they'll ever have an opportunity to play together. So it's rare. But when you think about just how special Amin and Asar Thompson were playing for the Overtime Elite program, when they were playing with them, man, bro, can you imagine those two are your perimeter defenders? We haven't seen anything like those two probably since Jordan and Pippen in terms of dynamic defensive perimeter defense that could absolutely completely disrupt another team and everything that they're trying to do. Those two together, standing 6'7", 220 plus pounds, freak athletes. I mean, they might as well be cousins to Usain Bolt. As fast as they are, as explosive as they are, absolutely crowding the perimeter. And then when you got guys like Norman Powell, who's definitely a dog on defense, guys like Josh Minot, guys like Scotty Barnes. Can you imagine? Can you imagine that starting lineup? And then you got Big Stu, Isaiah Stewart under the rim, under the rim, backed up by Nick Richards. Yo, like like you got so much talent on that roster, so much athleticism, defensive potential that I think they would just run teams out the gym. Like they would literally, it would just be a nonstop layup line of turnovers. They would probably lead international competition in transition points, which normally it's Team USA who does that because they have the athletes to do it. And they have, a tougher learning curve in terms of acclimating to international play. So they really rely on that defense and ability to turn you over and get out into transition. I can totally see the Jamaican team focused on that as well because they don't necessarily have a lead guard in the NBA who's familiar with international competition, like Jose Alvarado or Steve Nash was for Canada, or even SGA and Jamal Murray was for Canada, stuff like that, right? They don't necessarily have that guy. And so I think that it could be incredible to see Team Jamaica looking like Team USA and being like, we're going to give everybody a run for their money because our defense is so good. And of course, you're gonna have to get into like shot making, and you're gonna have guys like Norman Powell be your, closer. And even though Amin Thompson has shown the ability to close out games, play big in the playoffs, along with Asar Thompson and Scotty Barnes, like this squad is no slouch. They don't lack for skill. They don't lack for the ability to play make and facilitate and to collapse the defense and make good decisions. Because that's many times why athletic American players don't do well in international competition because they have great athleticism, but they don't have the ability to process the game at a high level in the midst of competition. And so I fully see uh, Team Jamaica medaling. I can't wait for them to be the story, the international story of basketball throughout the world. To see Team Jamaica fly up and get to the medaling rounds, whether they medal or not, because France is going to be right there. France is going to be tough as hell. Canada is going to be tough as hell. USA, you're going to have Serbia has a lot of talent. Lithuania has a lot of talent, right? There's just a lot of talent out there on top of the Bahamas, and Team Nigeria and South Sudan and things of that nature. There's just a lot of talent, but I would love to see them get there and feel that energy behind them. See those fans get behind them and really see just how much this game is becoming global. You're gonna have the Australian national team. You're gonna have China. You're gonna have so much competition. I would love to see Jamaica represented by the Thompson twins. Yo, if you enjoy this video, it's your man 100 grand Ross with the Rock Never Stops. Smash the like button for me. Normally, if there's more people in the chat, we do an interactive chat thing. Um, and I usually respond to most of your chat comments. But if you enjoy that type of a platform, smash the like button for me. It lets the algorithm know that you appreciate my platform and to be notified when I do another video. So smash the like button, hit subscribe, and the bell for notifications. I'm gonna get at y'all next time. Let's go, Team Jamaica. Peace.